After our last meeting in January, of course, I briefed you on the engagement that our troops in Kangaroo had. Shortly afterwards, on the 13th, as part of the normal patrol, on the 13th, they embarked on foot patrol ahead of their location, and they discovered Boko Haram terrorist grave, where 4 bodies, Boko Haram terrorist bodies, were buried. If you remember, I hinted you as to the number of Boko Haram terrorists that were killed during that operation, one operation that I reported on. So that is it. And also a part of their recoveries was a 36 hand grenade and 25 rounds of 12.7 millimeter ammunition. Now, within this period, there were incidences of improvised explosive devices. And I think because we are well versed with their occurrences, I will only ask that we flip through. For us, I will explain the ones that happened both in the university, the one that happened at Osmanti and even Muna, all those ones, and of course across the theater. That is what you're going to find in this segment. So please just flip through so that we make progress. Okay. All right. These are all those. Sorry that they're quite gory, but please just understand with us. Yes, so this was in the night. You recall that on that night, apart from about 9 p.m., about 11 p.m., the second one happened about around 1 a.m., and then the one that happened in the mosque was around 5:30 in the morning. So those incidents. I just thought it's necessary to put it up. Now, if you also recall, the next, of course, is Boko Haram terrorist attack. This is linked to the ISR report that we got that led to the unfortunate incident of Rann, misfire. Now, the following day, after that incident on the 17th, the following day in the evening, Boko Haram terrorists actually came and attacked. And even though we've reported it, through other media, we failed to bring it. So that has indication that there was actually Boko Haram that were sighted. In fact, in that operation, we actually killed 15 of them, sorry, and recovered a gun truck. We recovered a gun truck as well as other weapons that it came with. So which means the ISR report was not actually wrong. It's just that the coordinates were wrong. And that led to the unfortunate incident. Very regrettable. So that more or less vindicates the fact that Boko Haram terrorists were within the vicinity. But it's just that the coordinate was wrong, and that's precisely what led to that very sad incident. And we regret it once again. Now, also on 25th, our troops that are deployed in Kamuya is in Yobe State on the road from Buniyadi towards Buyu. And of course, as part, our assessment is that those that were engaged yesterday and previously must be, part of this group that were looking for where they could extricate themselves to maybe other possible locations that they have now found to be safe haven. And unfortunately, they attacked our troops in Kamuya, and though the attack was repelled, but we lost 3 soldiers. And the operation is all part and parcel of, operation to actually get them is part of what has led to yesterday's engagement, because it's more of a pincer-like operation where troops of 3 Division and 7 Division are closing up on them. And I think that in due course, we will let you know what the outcome, the eventual outcome is. Now, there was also within the period an attack on the convoy on the 28th of January, which many of you also you are aware of. And but let me make a correction here, that on the day of that incident, a civilian driver was killed. Later on, based on from bullet wound, two other civilians were also killed. There was no soldier that was killed, but 2 soldiers were wounded. And then we also got 3 civilians that were also wounded. So I saw one report from one, online newspaper talking about 20 soldiers and some civilians that were killed. So please take it. That is the true position. Now, also, there was an attack on the police convoy between Biu and Dambua on the 31st. I think from the reports we've gotten from the police, they were moving. Well, I don't want to give you all the details. I'm sure you've already gotten to know. But what is important is that a police officer was shot and killed, and another one was injured. And the injured and the killed they were evacuated to Dambua Hospital. And from there, the police authorities are already taking care. I just thought I should, bring it up here, knowing that the location between Dambua and Biu is relatively safe. So investigation is on for us to actually know the truth, what actually has happened, whether it's Boko Haram, handiwork, or some criminal gangs who may have some issues with the suspect that was being transferred from Biu to Maiduguri. That investigation will bring out as it were. Now, on the IED incident, which I referred to earlier on, that claimed the life of one of our fine officers, Captain Adeosi, on the 20th, as part of the operation we were conducting, just whilst on the way, based on, because of the IED that the Boko Haram had laid along the path, the vehicle that he was going in, of course, ran into it, and in the process, whilst in the hospital, he gave up. So that's the vehicle. It's quite unfortunate. Now, also on the 29th, at about 09:10 hours, our troops on patrol from Bita, admin patrol towards Goza, just before Yamteke, also entered an IED, and unfortunately, we lost a soldier, while 4 others were also wounded in that incident. Now, on the 21st, perhaps on the 21st, we had, a total of 4 Boko Haram terrorist suspects that surrendered to own troops in Mongunu. The suspects claim to have fled from Buka Meram's village, which is, of course, part and parcel of the Mama Noor's faction. And they claim to be fed up with the terrorist ideology and the unending combat. So they have been undergoing interrogation. And also on the 28th, another member named Mohammed that I intend to bring to you to show you. Come. That is, I think I'll give him, bring him here. He is on crutches. Please face. You could see the evil that Boko Haram can do. Show them your hand. Speak outside to him to hand. Good. You see, Boko Haram cut off the right hand and the left leg. And I just, for you to know the evil that Boko Haram perpetrates right where they are. Maybe, I don't know how much time we have. Maybe he should even talk to us. Huh? Ask him whatever you want to. Anybody?
Sunana Muhammad Abubakar. A Hausarin Wulgo, aka zo da ni cikin gudu. Na tashi fito ne akwai abokina sunan shi Hassan dan Buduma ne, muna tare abokin arziki na yadda da shi kokof har na yi niyan saran da ma na yi mishi cewa abin yaudara ne ba wani abin ainihi ba ne bai da asali, mu je kawai mu yi saran da mu ga abin da Allah zai yi da mu. Ya ce to barin jan ɗaukuri nan da ya je a shi ya haɗa baki da mun tashi fita mun zo daji kawai mun zo har mun zo gefen gwamnarin nan aka tare mutum uku muna zaune aka ya ce mu dan huta mun zo na bai kamiti ɗaya ba mutum uku suka zo kawai yana kalin.
Okay, just are you interested in No, no. Hold it. You don't know what I want to ask. See, ask him whether he has his colleague who want to come out. Don't let not the story of.
‘Yan wanan da suka cikin daji da za su saurari shawara su ji to su miƙa wa gwamnati ya kawai.
So, see, you know what we'll do?
Yeah.
I don't buy job.
Abun idan yana da kyau ba zan fita ba. Abun bai da kyau.
Okay, what we'll do? Hold it. Just wait. Let us cease fire. I just wanted you to have a feel of him. I'll bring him to you in due course to give you extensive when we're done. Okay. All right. Take him out. Or if you will, let's just take him out and then he'll come. Okay. Now, before I give you the summary of those arrested and. We'll just show, the clips from the air component, some of the air operations that were conducted within the period, very quickly. The whole time is for you. I'm here for you. We'll take your questions very quickly. Don't waste time. Okay. Now, these are IISR imageries of the Boko Haram, the women and children that were observed from above. This is close to Dole, meaning that they are still locking around in some places. There are, as part of yesterday's operation, we had some women and children that were rescued, so they were also airlifted. So I just thought I should mention it now. Okay. This is our troops in one of the operations, also covering our engagement, the ground troops engaging the Boko Haram terrorists. These are our troops, part of Rann. This is the ISR that was conducted around the Lake Chad, one of the islands, in Tumburego. Precisely. You could see the fighters that were fleeing after a strike. That's the result of the strike. Okay. All right, so just put a pause there. We'll return to it. Now, within the period, a total of 3,332 civilians who, of course, we consider to be suspects were screened. Now, why I say suspects? Because given the level that we are now, whoever is left in some of the places that we're entering, we can't just say that they are civilians. If they are not Boko Haram terrorists, they are sympathizers, or those that we need to carry out further work on. So this is the figure within the period. And we're actually working on them to know. When I mean working, I'm talking about profiling them to know those who actually are Boko Haram terrorists amongst them, and those who are not. And then 5, of course, surrendered, and A total of 26 foreigners were also arrested that comprised 17 Chadians and 9 Nigerians. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, having won the war, the train on the track to enduring peace is currently in motion. Yesterday, the National Coalition Against Terrorism held a rally where they called on all to give greater support to the peace efforts. They equally called on all renegades in the name of Boko Haram to surrender without further delay. The people are rising up against Boko Haram, and it is encouraging to us. Meanwhile, we in Operation Lafiya Dole have received numerous commendations on the achievements so far. We consider it to be a job and commendation for all of us. Please join the train. The continued support and encouragement of Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, as well as the Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, and all the service chiefs are unquantifiable and are hereby appreciated. The other stakeholders, including you, the press, are duly appreciated. So let us together maintain the momentum. Thank you and God bless. So, I'm right here. Please go ahead with your questions. Within the time available to us, go ahead and ask your questions. From under.
So my name is Maimuna Garba from NTA. So we must commend the military for doing a good job. But sir, despite the effort of the military, what is the military doing to curtail the increasing wave of suicide attacks recently on the places of worship?
Thank you. Thanks.
My name is Blessing Tuno. I report for Channels Television. Still on the issue of suicide bomb in Maimuna East, I want to add that most of the times when we hear about suicide bombings in recent times, they are always coming from the Muna garage axis. What is what are you doing to see that that area is combed? Probably there's a bomb making factory there or something. That's what I want to add to Maimuna's question. And then secondly, I want to talk about the Rann incident. We have been told that it was an accident, it was an operational error, and everyone understands. But I would really like to know what exactly happened. I would really like to know the details. What happened? We know it was an accident, and we are not doubting the good intentions of the Nigerian Air Force. But what exactly happened? Thank you.
Sir, my name is Ibrahim Gwamnam Shiliza, the publisher of Limelight. Sir, out of the 3,332 suspects screened, how many of them have been released? Or how many of them have been confirmed to be Boko Haram?
My name is Abdul Karim. I work for Premium Times. So you said that an armored tank, Shilka, I think precisely, was
Correct.
Recovered from Boko Haram. So from which location was that armored tank taken out? For how long has it been with the Boko Haram? And adding to what Maimuna raised on Rann, is it official now that the investigation or the board of inquiry that was set up to investigate what happened have submitted their reports, and it was concluded as a mistake? Whose mistake, sir?
Good afternoon, sirs. My name is Sadiq Abubakar. I represent the Blueprint newspapers. My question, sir, is back to Rann. The issue of Rann, sir, has become a great concern issue, not only to Nigeria, but the world at large. So, and we gathered that some stakeholders from the Kalabagi local government are agitating or requesting for compensation. So I don't know whether the military is doing anything about it.
My name is Benga Kimbule. I write for the Wall Street Journal. My question is this. As at the time the Chief of Army Staff launched the motorbike battalion, a lot of people were happy, and it led to the opening of so many roads that were either abandoned for years. So now we don't know what is the state of this motorbike battalion. And some of these roads that have been opened, motorists are being attacked. And in fact, you confirmed that some soldiers were injured while 2 or 3 civilians were killed. Can you please tell us the state of these motorbikes and what they've been doing so far?
My name is Timothy Ola. I write for the Sun newspaper. It's still on the attacks on the road, specifically the Dambua Maiduguri road, and we've recorded 2 major attacks on that road now since it was opened by the Chief of Army Staff. We want to know what kind of assurance will you be giving to Nigerians, and particularly those that will be plying that road, that it is still safe.
Okay, so perhaps we could take those ones. All right, wonderful questions, no doubt. Let me see what I can do. Increasing wave of suicide bombers in the place of worship. Well, increasing is relative. Yes, of course, there are cases of that. If you say in recent past that it's beginning to increase, well, you may not be wrong. But if you want to take it over a period of this insurgency, it certainly cannot be increasing. We know that at some point in Maiduguri here, it was a daily occurrence. It was a daily occurrence. That we have these, of course, I also gave us a hint that we may find things like this happening, given that we have routed them out of where they consider to be safe haven. But what I can tell you is that we've done quite a lot. The arrest that I just told you about, I made mention of the fact that some of those who were arrested have some form of connections to all those. I believe that all you need to do is just to trust what you're doing, and I believe very strongly too that it's going to, reduce that menace. I believe, very shortly we will see near zero of such occurrences. And I think perhaps that links up to what you asked, what are we doing about it? A lot has been done. These special operations we're conducting, where we've made a lot of arrests, a lot of interrogation is ongoing. Even the long-range patrols that I talked about that took place between the 17th and 24th, is all geared towards ensuring that the possible locations of the IED factories are located and destroyed. And that operation is still on from another houses, which it's not necessary for me to mention which houses. But all I can tell you is that quite a lot is being done. For every IED incident that occurs, over 20 has been saved. And I think you bear me out with the reports that we've given. Now, in Rann, what happened? I've explained what happened. I said maybe the technical details you want me to bring out, which of course also goes back to what you asked. The investigation is not yet over. But why I came up with it is we needed, since that has been established as part of it, why can't I give the figure? Why do we have to wait endlessly? People died. We know those who died. We know those who were wounded. Why can't I release that? Other issues that have to do with the investigation, that of course is ongoing, and in due course that will be relayed. But of course I've also mentioned that it was a mistake. I've mentioned that a coordinate was received from the ISR platform, and that was what was passed to the pilots. And even just to say that, even by logic, the following day an attack came to that location. And then in the number that they came, that gives you an indication that something actually was sighted. But an error of having to say this is the coordinate is where, in my view, has happened. Of course, it's been established as such. So, but other details, as we make progress, you'll be told. Now, Gwamna, you say how many confirmed number? Well, the process is on. We've not finished the profiling. We've not finished the investigation, so I cannot give you. But of course, among them, of course, we've gotten some Boko Haram terrorists amongst them. I just thought that how long did she carry with? That's an interesting question. How long? How do I know how long they've been? We don't have that kind of equipment in our inventory, so it didn't come from us. But we believe that that they have used it for a while now, and but we've taken it. We've taken it in our custody. I think that's a huge minus from not just that, but the other gun trucks that are mounted with anti-aircraft guns is a huge minus to them, which for us is a huge gain. It's more or less, I would call it a harvest of gains of yesterday's operation. So I don't know how long. If I knew, of course, I would have told you. Sadiq, I think I've also, by implication, answered the issue of Rann. Compensation. I know that the government will not just close eye. Even the support that is being given to IDPs is all part and parcel of the engagement. But that, of course, I believe that some form of arrangement will be there to assuage the pains of the families of those who lost their lives. So better, let's wait and see. I cannot, at this stage, begin to tell you, or to make a commitment on behalf of the military. I'm only the commander of Operation Lafiya Dole. I do not think I have the means to begin to pay compensation. The compensation I'm paying is the appeal for understanding, which of course they have shown, and that, in my view, is quite understanding on the part of lives have been lost. Soldiers have died, officers have died, civilians have died, Boko Haram have killed, and it's just a pain, unfortunately, a sacrifice that almost all of us have had to pay at some stage. Which is unfortunate, and that's why we believe and we encourage everyone to join in this train that is already in motion, that this madness must come to an end. Let us return to our normal lives, that we do not have to have unwarranted risk and danger coming across us, across the theater, especially in Borno State, where we consider to be the epicenter of this madness. Benga, the motorbike battalion. The motorcycles are there. The motorcycle battalion is still is still functioning. And in fact, that they also engage in these escort duties. But what you must understand, and I think that one day I should be able to organize a tour of reporters for us to take a ride. And I think some of you, I recall, Memuna, you were there. Where are you? You were there. You saw what I mean. It's messy. Messy, why? Because everyone wants to travel. Just like you have the geographic space of Nigeria, that everybody thinks that security agencies should go and man every inch of it. It's not possible. The same for these escorts. You cannot be escorting 100 vehicles, 150 vehicles, and you think that after every 2 vehicles you have a military man. It's not possible. So these are things that they've taken advantage of. Looking at the length of the convoy, and also knowing that the roads are bad, they will go just appreciate the route, and then go there to plant themselves where you think that very horrible vehicles that are moving, all the vehicles are not even in the same serviceable condition. As you are moving behind one, you are behind one that may be near dead. You'll be forced to overtake, and then it begins to lag behind. The man that is leading does not know that a vehicle is not following the pace. And then the man behind does not even know. He thinks that since there are vehicles behind, let me be waiting. He does not know that a gap has been created. So these are some of the challenges. But we are working around them, around these challenges, to see how we can have them properly addressed. Timothy, assurances on the road. Well, what assurances again, other than the fact that, being a dynamic operation, at each stage we look at what has happened and what went wrong. What do we do to be able to close up the gap? And that's precisely what we're doing. But I can assure you that the fact that we have operated on this road for a long time, and also the fact that the exploits that we have had, in this past few months, the number of those who may want to push straight on that road have reduced. And what I've also directed, and at some stage I've told you that, look, we're looking for equipment. Even right now, I've also given instruction just this morning that let us go to any length to go and look for tractors to clear the shoulders of the road, which will also improve on it. But again, that's because this is a concern Operation Lafiya Dole shows. But is that actually my responsibility? No. But then it's all to let you know that there are assurance, these are things that we're working out painstakingly to ensure that we do not have issues of that nature repeating themselves. Is there any question that I've not addressed yet? Okay, all right. You see, you've been wonderful. I must credit you for it. Yes, we may have had one or two issues that we do not seem to agree on, but what has come clear is the mind and the willingness of everybody to see that things move beyond what they are. But I want to also let you know that terrorism, the word terrorism actually derives from the word terror. And what is terror? Just you building some level of fear upon the people. So where we are now is confidence building. You must encourage that confidence building. You must let the people know that their security, they need to be involved in ensuring that their safety and security is guaranteed by not giving in to fear. That's what I need to leave with you. And as you help to propagate that, I want to encourage you and to say that you are in the right path, and please let us keep it up in that regard. Once again, thank you so very much for coming for this press briefing. Good afternoon.
Please, the theater commander deserves another round of applause. With this, we have come to the end of the live press conference. Thank you for coming, and God bless you.
We've come to the end of the press briefing, which was addressed by the theater commander, Operation Lafiya Dole, Major General Lucky Irabor. Gallant troops, he explained, are not relenting as they have continued to advance further in clearance and mop-up operations in the hideouts of Boko Haram insurgents, with a lot of successes aimed at ensuring that the remnants of the terrorists are cleared completely in the northeast region. We thank you for being part of the program, and on behalf of the management of NTA and the outside broadcast crew, my name is Abubakar Muhammad Musa, saying do stay tuned for the rest of our programs on the largest television network in Africa, the NTA.